Thank you so much. It will be a moment. Hello, folks. We will be doing a workshop on petition writing instead of our Growing Grassroots Movements talk, which we're going to try and reschedule for later on in the month. Unfortunately, Dr. Reinach was just not able to make it due to traffic issues, which is so fair. So we're going to be doing something else.
Besides, it's too many tabs and just quits. I definitely had my computer did that too.
So both my computer's approaching that, but it hasn't done it yet, and it better not do it.
Then I just reopen all of the tabs and then you will stay open.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't get an option. Okay. I'll give people a moment to get settled. Also, I haven't reviewed this because I wasn't planning on doing it this year. I have not done it in a year. And I don't know where I put my notes, so we're freestyling this. But I should still remember it considering my life. Is it visible from the live stream? It should be. Yeah, it's visible. I can. The people in the live stream just get to see the pure chaos. Okay. Y'all can let me know when you're ready. Awesome. Okay. Welcome to petition writing. Yes. I need to figure out how to use. Yes. This is our outline. Basically, we're going to be learning what a petition is, what they are, what an effective one looks like, learning how to actually draft one properly, and then we're going to do a little activity of doing it yourself. Yeah. Anyway, this is my friend the Lorax. The Lorax is having some troubles right now. People are logging illegally in the Truffle Tree Forest. And so he has a goal. His goal is to get the Truffle Tree Forest set aside as a national park and to basically get more protections for this unique habitat. So why would he use a petition? It's because it's one of the most direct ways to communicate a concern. If you get enough signatures in a federal petition, the government literally is obligated legally to respond, which is why they're so effective, and they're presented directly to the House of Commons. Yeah, so what is a petition? It is a legal document that is intended to draw the attention of a governing body to a specific concern. They can be paper or electronic. This is also, by the way, according to the federal government's petition writing standards and requirements. So a lot of this is translatable, especially the format stuff, to provincially, but there might be some variance in the regulations and expectations and whatnot. Anyway, so there are paper ones. Paper petitions must be sent directly to an MP, but they do not require sponsorship. You just need to collect the signatures, send it to the MP, and then the MP takes it from there. MP is a member of parliament, by the way. An electronic petition does need to be sponsored by a member of parliament before it can go anywhere. And then it needs to, before it goes out into the internet, need to be approved by the clerk of petitions prior to signature collection, and that is made on the House of Commons website. Oh, I forgot that I had that. Anyway, so who do petitions address? This is the layout of the Canadian federal government. We have the monarch, who is our head of state, but also, it's also good for Indigenous rights. Anyway, we're not gonna go down the rabbit hole of that. I have mixed feelings on monarchy, but they're actually really important for preserving treaty rights. Hence the mixed feelings, because we like treaty rights, but we don't like the British crown. Maybe I shouldn't be sharing my biases in this presentation. Everyone ignore that. Anyway, we have the legislative branch, executive branch, and judicial branch. The judicial branch includes the Supreme Court of Canada and the lower courts. We have the executive branch, executive, it does the stuff, it's what you generally think of when you think of the Canadian government, that's the Prime Minister, and the Cabinet. And then we have the legislative branch, they write legislation. That's the Senate and the House of Commons, and our member of parliaments, that is, they fall under here. The Minister of the Crowns fall under the Cabinet. Cabinet ministers are usually they're an MP that has been specifically selected to be part of the Cabinet. Yeah. Oh, again, I forgot I have this transition here. Anyway, petitions do specifically address, again, the House of Commons and the MPs. This is the anatomy of a petition. I'm so sorry, it is probably really hard to read this. But if you look up here, it will say something along the lines of petition to the whoever you're addressing. You could be addressing the House of Commons, the Government of Canada, Minister of the Crown, or a specific member of Parliament. Then you say, we, the undersigned, in this case, it would be the citizens of Truffle Tree Forest. Yeah, that can be any citizens or residents of Canada. You do not need to be a citizen to, draft one. Then you can also say electors, so someone from a specific electoral district, residents of a province, or residents of a city or village or Truffle Tree Forest. And then we say, we draw attention of the whoever you were addressing, so say House of Commons, to the following, that whatever your concern is. State your problem, what's going on, why is it important? Then you say, therefore, your petitioners request or call upon the addressee, whoever you're trying to get to do something. This is your call to action. What do you want them to do? What do you need to see done? Then you put your signatures and your addresses, and then subsequent pages. Again, you'll just say therefore your petitioners, and then repeat the request, and then put more signatures and addresses, etc., all the way down. Yeah, and so this is what the Lorax, yes.
Hi, sorry, I have one question.
Mhm.
So you said you don't need to be a citizen to draft a petition, right? Or is that correct or?
Yes.
Okay.
Again, I don't have my notes on me right now because it's been a year, but yes, I believe that as long as you are a permanent resident or a citizen, you should be good. I will need to double check my notes for whether or not something like a work permit or something. Yes,
What about signing?
that would be the same thing.
Good.
I don't know why I didn't actually put that onto the slide because I feel like that would have been an important detail and I feel like it was on my notes from last year. That's my bad. I should have written it down in the Canva.
Immigration was slightly better last year. Not really.
Technically, actually, this presentation was live streamed last year and the live stream is still up on our YouTube. So you can go see the better version. So basically, the Lorax would be saying, petition to the House of Commons, we the undersigned residents of the Truffle Tree Forest, draw the attention of the House of Commons to the following, that there is deforestation that is illegal happening in Truffle Tree Forest. It is significant, it is having a bad impact on the environment. They would probably phrase it more fancy than that. And therefore, your petitioners request or call upon the House of Commons to create Truffle Tree Forest National Park. And then they put their signatures. So, how do do you make a petition? These are the steps. Basically, your main things. You need to determine your goal. What do you want to be done? This is the most important thing. You want to be specific. You want to have basically achievable things that can be done, that are laid out well. That makes it more likely for them to like specifically follow what you want to have happen. You need to decide who you're addressing. Who do you think is most likely to make the specific change? Is it a specific MP? Because maybe it's something that is more directly addressing the needs of your community. Do you have a petition towards them to present some kind of bill, something like that? It could also be the House of Commons, that you want the House of Commons to pass a piece of legislation. That is something else that can happen. You draft your prayer. Your prayer is what we put in the previous slide, which is essentially, we ask you to do this, 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 and this. And then ensure your petition is formatted correctly. There are also more specific steps here. I'm gonna check and see if they're on the next slide. Yes, okay. Sorry. For a paper petition, you create it following these steps, write everything down, decide who you're contacting, decide what your prayer is, ensure that it's formatted correctly. Then you go out, you gather signatures, walk around, get the people you need. I believe you need 500 signatures, but I hope that I put it on other slides. And then you send it to a member of parliament. It doesn't have to be yours. It can be anybody. If you think that there's a specific member of parliament that's more likely to listen to you, hit them up. It does not have to be yours. Then the member of parliament receives it. If it has, 25 signatures, it says right there, awesome. If it has at least 25 signatures, it is sent to the clerk of petitions by your member of parliament. The clerk of petitions then presents or gets it ready to be presented or tabled at the House of Commons. The House of Commons will then debate it, discuss it, send it to the Privy Council office. Privy Council? I don't know. And then the government will table a response within 45 days of presentation or tabling. And they are held to that number, by the way. It has to be within 45 days, or else it is not good. For an electronic petition, a little bit more complicated. You create it on the House of Commons website, and then you need the support of 5 Canadian citizens or residents. Then you reach out to your member of parliament, and they need to choose your member of parliament, a member of parliament, a benevolent one that you think might be nice, and then they sponsor it. Then again, it's sent to a preliminary review by the clerk of petitions, and then it is published for signature. For signatures, electronic petitions are different than a paper petition because with an electronic petition, there is a time limit to get the petition signatures that you need. You have 120 days. Whereas with the paper one, there's no limit. After 120 days, there is a certification of by the clerk of petitions if there's at least 500 signatures. So you need your 500 signatures in 120 days. Then again, presented at the House of Commons, then it's sent to the Privy Council office, and then it's tabled, or response is tabled within 45 days of presentation or tabling. You can find this on the House of Commons website, by the way. They actually publish out for every petition. They publish, this is what our response to this specific petition was. You can go and read it. Sometimes I do, it's kind of fun. Anyway, to write a prayer. A prayer is a request that the government either take or refrain from taking a specific action. Literally think of it as praying to a higher power. Just please do this or please don't do this. That's what a prayer is. It's literally just your request. Prayers will request actions that are under the jurisdiction of the House of Commons or the federal government. So it cannot pertain to anything that is considered sub judice. And this is basically anything that is related to the judicial branch. So the Supreme Court of Canada cannot be affected by petitions because of the sub judice convention, which basically says that the legislative branch of government cannot interfere with any proceedings of the judicial branch because, we like checks and balances. And then, prayers also need to be addressed to the House of Commons, a member of Parliament, or a minister of the Crown, as previously discussed. And it can be written in either national language, French or English. I think again, I've already been biased here. I think that they should also include more languages, and specifically the ones that are native to Turtle Island. This is still being opinionated time. Anyways, let me collect signatures. Again, electronic petitions require 500 signatures, and they have minimum, and it has to be within 120 days. And then for paper petitions, you need 25 signatures minimum, and there's no time limit. So you really pick your poison. There are definitely benefits to both. I don't know. There are definitely reasons that people do both. Do I know those reasons? They were probably in my notes. For assigning criteria, you can be a Canadian citizen or resident. You can also be a Canadian citizen living abroad. But individuals can only sign for themselves unless there is, I believe, again, these are my notes, but I do remember that individuals can sign for themselves unless there is somebody who wants to sign the petition but isn't able to. For example, if you have a disability that affects your ability to, write, then someone else can sign for you, but there has to be like a specific note that's like attached to it to be like, hey, it was for this person, but they have this, and this reason that they can't. It's better outlined here in a more articulate manner. There's no minimum age requirement. If you have a very opinionated 6-year-old, they can sign it, that's fine. I was an opinionated 6-year-old, and I would have loved to be able to sign petitions at that age. And I could have, I just didn't know. Your contact information does need to be included. And an MP can sign, but the signature won't count, so it's more for the vibes, I guess. Which, I mean, makes sense. Anyway, activity time. You have to write a petition to help the Lorax achieve his goal. Here's your helpful information. Your addressee is the House of Commons. Your petitioners are residents of Truffalo Forest. Your reason for the request is the deforestation of Truffalo Forest. Your request is to create a national park to protect Truffalo Tree Forest. Again, to outline it one more time, you want to say petition to the addressee, we the undersigned, the addressers, draw the attention of the problem to the following that the problem, draw the attention of the addressee to the following that this problem is occurring. Therefore, your petitioners request or call upon the addressee to do the thing. Anyway, I'll give you like 5 minutes. You have paper, write a petition. You can also ask me if you need help or can't read. I will read it out to you because I realize it's tiny. Yes, go for it.
Can we petition from here or like a provincial government?
Yes, you can. Usually there are provincial regulations for that. Again, the process itself is very similar in terms of how the format will be, but you can directly petition someone that is like, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I actually haven't looked into the provincial ones because, again, it's been a year.
Okay, so it's document presented to the House of Assembly by an MLA on behalf of their constituents. It requests action by the House of Assembly or the government in power. And anyone can submit a petition to the MLA. So it says like the pairs again.
Is this provincial or?
This is provincial.
So it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't.
They're phrasing it.
It says on the House of their constituents.
Yeah, that might be something to double check. For those listening to the live stream, basically this is the Nova Scotia Legislature.ca website. It says that it is presented to the House of Assembly, Nova Scotia's House of Assembly, on behalf of their constituents. and it requests action by the House of Assembly or by the government in power. And anybody can submit a petition through their MLA, so it does look like it might be for the MLA specifically. Usually there is a library, there is a civil servant that you can email and be like, hey Queen, I have a question about this specific legal practice. What? And then they respond back. You can do that. The Library of the House of Commons, I have done it. They did email back, and it was probably really one of the most exciting moments of my life. It's literally their job to email people back. Yeah. I mean, you can do it according to this. You can also do it according to something
Oh,
else.
I can just still.
Oh yeah. This is specifically writing it for this because I thought that might be easier.
It is easier.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I came up with this entire presentation at like 3 a.m. the night before last year's Finding the Rainbow Connection.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But at least you had notes back then.
I did have notes back then. They were on torn up pieces of my agenda, like just from weeks previously. I didn't need the page anymore, and I was like, yeah, these will do notes.
I did not end up doing notes for yesterday's thing. I just kind of revolved it.
That's okay though. I mean, that's what I'm doing now. I probably should review the information, considering that I'm going to know how to write petitions. I do have to say, I guess, in terms of
I mean, you do. You like learn this information and
This
just
is
make the
true.
presentation.
yeah, I've actually never done a petition myself. I just have taught a lot of people how to do it. I've actually done a variation of this presentation before, in high school for a different organization. For the vibes. But yeah, so I only know this in theory, but I'm more than happy to email the Library of the House of Commons again.
Can I email one of the MLAs then, or like an MP and be like, hey, this is happening. I want to make it not happen. Can you help me?
Yeah. Again, for that, if you want to specifically email an MLA first, I would recommend it. Again, I haven't looked at the specific requirements for Nova Scotia, but I would recommend having a petition drafted already, at least a preliminary draft, so that they know what's going on and having your prayer and everything, because that makes it easier to argue your case. Technically, it's their responsibility to actually represent your petition, but I don't know.
What do you,
There's got to be someone out there that cares.
do you know the consequences if they don't address your petition in the time frame?
It was probably in my notes.
You can choose someone else to do it.
Oh, so it doesn't have to be your specific MLA?
Or for the MP.
Mhm.
I don't know about the MLA stuff, but for the MP, if they don't respond within the 45 days, it will like give you an option to choose someone else. And you can do that 5 times before, like, if no one responds, and you have to start over, I guess.
Interesting. Thank you. Michelle just said that, oh my gosh, if the MP you reach out to hasn't responded to you within 45 days, that you can reach out to somebody else, and then after 5 people, you have to, would you say, like, redraft the petition and then try again?
I guess so, yeah, I think so.
But what if it's like
Justice.
tabled in the House of Commons and then they don't deal with it?
That would be a question for my source that is at the bottom of the page. It is on the House of Commons website, but they have like a book. It is in House of Commons Procedure and Practice, third edition by Mark Bosk and Andre Gagnon. Yes, that probably outlines it. If not, email the Library of the House of Commons. They would know. Because I probably knew at some point, but I'd forget.
Just to confirm, a paper petition could be like draft petition printed and paper from there?
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't have to be like starting on paper, writing the petition.
Yeah, no, don't worry. You can type it up on Word and print it out. It's just the signatures themselves have to be collected in person and written on that paper. But only 25, which is, right?
And yeah, I think you don't need a signature to, and a paper petition, you don't need a signature.
You don't need an empty signature for any of them, because an empty signature would count, but you don't need
No, sorry,
sponsorship to start
sponsorship,
collecting.
yeah, sponsorship.
Yes, you don't need
Right.
sponsorship to start collecting.
Does your own signature count on there?
I believe so, yes.
You're one of the petitioners.
Yeah.
You can vote for yourself. I don't see why you don't vote for petition for yourself.
I vaguely remember, and this may just be a vague memory, but I vaguely remember reading that yes, you can just sign for yourself. But if anything, I mean, I'm assuming you can probably find a 26th person. If you know enough extroverts.
The internet one is being 500 is like, it's scary.
Right.
I guess since you're like sharing it, like everybody could probably.
Yeah, if you have dedicated people, just like you said, change it, although I don't know if I will actually not reasonable to
No.
do that nominations.
I mean, even your boss to be like, hey, do you think this is a good idea?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Like, this is literally supposed to be like the most effective way to literally like, without actually going and banging on your MP's door and being like, hey dude, do something. Banging on their door and being like, hey dude, do something. So, yeah. Oh,
It's outside.
they're by the vending machine against that wall. I'll give people a little bit more time because I mean, it looks like we have time and it takes a moment. Just let me know whenever you're ready. What time is it? It is 7:30. We've got time. If you need me to read anything out for you, just let me know and I can do that.
Anything like from that sheet of paper?
Yeah,
Well, I can't read it from this distance at all.
no, that's so fair. Sorry, I'm trying to like think. Catherine, is it okay if I unplug your computer and run it over there briefly? Thank you.
Do you want to take the live stream over here as well? Or? So it would just be like the.
Yeah. I just can't read this because I'm blind. No, that's tiny font. I don't know what I was saying. I mean, it probably was. It was really trying to read this. Honestly, I've been
I mean, it's probably water that's 10 to that.
It's beautiful. Oh my god, I didn't even realize it was a person.
Yeah.
I love that. It's good. That is art. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Very
We should post that to, it's so beautiful.
Honestly, you should. Exactly. I mean, you could. I know, not last year, the year before, the year before I joined. There was a like social media takeover day where like niggas. What is it? That just like took over the like Instagram and just like blew up with the other day. And honestly, it was really entertaining. As some random student who had nothing to do with that at the time. Maybe. I feel like it would be fun to do for this event. But also, it would just be me freaking out the entire time, probably like once the entire day. Also, I can just say
Not doing.
well, no, like for extra info.
Oh, yeah, doing.
Happily, I will track down my notes. I can't believe I wrote them down. Like, love that. But also, and I didn't preserve a copy? What kind of person am I? How is this? Surprisingly well. Yeah, I filled in all the questions.
You seem so dejected when you got.
Well, because I slept 4 hours.
Did you spend all night studying?
Yeah, I fell asleep while studying at like 1:30 in the morning. I woke up at 2:30 with like, oh crap, both my lights are on and I'm like asleep next to my computer.
Oh, like, I've done that before.
Mm-hmm. Every time it fills me with like terror, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna crush my computer. And then I guess I put my computer on the floor. I don't remember doing that, but it must have happened. And then I woke up at 6.
Did I see you coming in?
Maybe.
I
I was
heard
not
noises.
fully awake.
I heard noises in the kitchen and I was like, someone's up.
I think I heard somebody unlock the door.
Yeah.
I wrote an exam in the McDonald building today in University Hall, which is, I didn't know it existed. Erin, you've already experienced
I
this.
thought you were gonna say you wrote it in the McDonald's, right? And I was
Oh my
like,
god,
I was like, what happened?
it was a hard night. No, it was in the McDonald building in University Hall, which I didn't know existed until this morning. And it literally felt like I just walked into Hogwarts and wrote my exam there. And so I needed to like get pictures just to prove to people that it existed. It's attached to the chemistry building.
Yeah, it's where they treasures.
Yes, it is. So you've been there.
Yes.
You've been to University Hall. I think it's a floor above. It literally feels like you walk into Hogwarts and write an exam there. It was insane to just like walk into this massive room with this gigantic, dark, heavy, like wooden table, and like through the middle with like gigantic fireplaces that were like the roof is way higher than this room. Like on either side of this like gigantic hall with like the walls lined with books that are like older than probably my last name, and then like pictures of like paintings, like portraits, painted portraits of like old white dudes and one lady just like lining the walls. And I was like, where am I right now? Also, I'm so sorry not to pressure you, but I think that I'm gonna only give you a couple more minutes, because I don't know what to
I'm so confused.
It is 7:39.
So
Okay. Put mine in my bag. That's so fair.
you guys are gonna sign.
We're gonna what?
Sign mine.
Are you doing
Okay.
an actual petition?
No, it's this, but I.
Oh, yeah.
It is important. I mean, I chose Laura, he's very, he needs help. People need to support him and listen to him while he speaks to the trees. I don't remember the logic behind this. I know that the reason was like basically to make it more engaging. Yeah. But I don't remember why I specifically thought of the War Acts. I don't remember any of this. It was truly a haze. I like remember sitting down to work and I remember waking up the next morning and being like, okay, finishing touches. And I don't remember anything else. This is such a scene, right?
Tradition.
And, well, I started the time, but, one of the big things that I think made me not agree with that bigger is like we have craft day, and I get really into like the craft book. Really wants to provide a very something, so it's really valid. I was video. In 2 seconds, let me finish doing up the yes. That's so fair. That's honestly how I am at work. I'll be like sitting there and I'm like drafting this like beautiful email or whatever, and then someone shows up and they're walked out of the room and I'm like, I need to be nice about it, I need to be nice about it, because I hate switching tasks. Anyway, if anyone ever says that there's just this random person with short curly hair and out that with like these really weird looks when they come out for lock and keys, I swear it's not out of spite, it's simply because I cannot task switch in the life of me. It's so hard.
Either I'm like task switching like everything all at once, or I'm like focusing on one thing and then I have a task to it and then I can't keep going without.
Do you know if non-Cal students can get a membership to a complex?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
That's important for our mission.
Yes.
What other thing?
Okay.
Wait, it's.
Easier.
Wait, what? So it's.
This is just for.
Oh,
Yeah.
movie, right?
Okay. We're back. There's no one on the live stream, but we're back. I think microphone.
I really don't see the care. Also, I feel like. Stupid. Don't.
That's mostly.
That's a shit. Okay,
Yeah,
that
it's
counts.
really bad.
It's just not this. There was a.
Why do you sign that petition? It's time to see if you did it correctly.
Well,
Oh, no.
Anyway,
No, I said the word twink twice.
I don't know if MPs would be impressed
No.
if you,
to be
I mean,
fair,
maybe, depends on
the Onceler is a twang.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
who?
The Onceler,
Oh, that's so true.
because like
He's
that's
the one
the,
who made me for
yeah,
I named that bastard,
yeah.
and I said, stop it.
That's fair. That,
And
stopping the one slur specifically might be a judicial branch thing, though.
Well, but it's not, no. But I did not say stop him, I said read national forest, or designate national forest.
Okay, yeah, I mean, if you say like there are specific entities, the one slur, that are trying to like destroy Truffula Forest,
Yeah,
and then you're like, let's create a national park and
Yes.
create like more protections for Truffula Tree Forest, then technically I guess that wouldn't be falling under sub judice, so you would be good.
Can't do that.
Okay. Anyway, this is what I wrote last year at 3 a.m. And it basically is vaguely what you should be writing. It says, petition to the House of Commons, we, the underside, residents of Truffalo Forest, draw the attention to the House of Commons to the following. That whereas lack of regulation allows the practice of truffalo tree logging, truffalo trees are a threatened species, truffalo tree logging has led to large-scale deforestation of truffalo tree forest, and truffalo trees are a unique species which is integral to the survival of the community of truffalo tree forest. Therefore, we, the underside residents of Truffalo Tree Forest, call upon the House of Commons to 1. Designate the Truffalo Tree Forest as a National Park of Canada, and 2. Take action to protect the ecological diversity present in the area.
Instantly, it's basically there.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to write exactly this. Members of Parliament don't have to hear exactly this. This is just like the general vibe of like outlining specific points. This is what is bad, and this is what must be done in specific actions. Anyways, getting started, because I refuse to teach people things without then pressuring them to do the things. Maybe pressuring is a bad word, but also write petitions, email, and talk to your MPs. So this was one of my main sources, the House of Commons Procedure and Practice, third edition,
Third ever Egyptian.
maybe, third edition, chapter 22, that specifically outlines petition writing regulations, and yeah. This is the paper petitions writing guide on the website of the House of Commons, and then there's the House of Commons petitions website. These are all really wonderful resources. There is hair in my glasses. It's really bothering me. Anyway, I ripped out a bit of my veins. These are all really incredible resources, and again, if you have issues understanding any of it, email the Library of the House of Commons. They are there. Their literal job is to teach you and explain to you the weird things with the world. Yeah. I think I maybe emailed them before creating some of the information for this presentation. But I'm not entirely sure. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I can go through my inbox. Anyway, these are my citations.
Yeah.
It's basically what I went through. And yeah, I guess that's everything. I should have put a slide to like, I don't know, have the ones around it. Anyway, thank you. That's the presentation. Okay.
And that means more 10 minutes up from how even.
Woo!
I didn't look at it, it's 7:50, but.
It's gonna be fine. Okay, that's the person who emailed us.
Sorry?
That's the person who emailed us, right?
Who is?
The next
Oh.
one.
Yes.
Yay.
I need to, excuse me, and the lights.
I'll be honest, I barely remember the last one.
I'm too also very Thank you everybody for coming out as gay or to this event. We will be back next year.